You could feel it the moment Lewis Hamilton stepped out of the car in Mexico. That silence, that look on his face, you knew something had snapped. What was supposed to be a weekend of redemption for Ferrari turned into another storm, one that ended with Hamilton furious, Ferrari confused, and the FIA once again in the middle of chaos. And this time, the fallout might be bigger than anyone expected. It all started with that intense battle against Max Verstappen. Two champions, side by side, fighting for pride as much as points. The crowd roared, the engines screamed, and for a moment, it felt like the Ferrari finally had the pace to challenge Red Bull on pure performance. But then, in a flash, it all went wrong. Hamilton went wide at turn 4, cut through the runoff, came back onto the track just ahead of Max, and seconds later, the radio exploded. 10-second penalty for car number 44, leaving the track and gaining advantage. You could hear the disbelief in Hamilton's voice. "Are you serious? I lost grip. There was no way to stop the car there. Everyone else did the same," he said, angry, almost shouting. And he wasn't wrong. The replays showed Verstappen, Leclerc, even Antonelli cutting across corners earlier in the race, all without consequences. But this time, it was Hamilton who got hit. The same Hamilton who's been saying for months that the FIA applies double standards. And now, at the most chaotic moment possible, his words seemed to come true. Ferrari didn't help. The team radio made it worse. His engineer came on and said, "Lewis, you've been given a 10-second penalty for contact with Max. Contact, not for cutting the track." A half-truth that only made Hamilton angrier. He snapped, "That's not what happened. The grip there is 0. You guys aren't telling me the whole story." His voice cracked, the frustration pouring through every word. And honestly, who could blame him? Because at that point, the race was already slipping away. Ferrari's strategy was solid until the penalty dropped like a hammer. From fighting for the podium, Hamilton dropped all the way to 8th, behind cars he should have easily beaten. And the irony, Verstappen, who cut the corner earlier, finished the race untouched, no penalties, no investigations. You could feel the tension rising even before the checkered flag waved. When the race ended, Hamilton didn't even hide it. He walked straight out of the car, threw his gloves, and refused to speak to the team for several minutes. Cameras caught that look, disbelief mixed with anger, like he couldn't believe how quickly everything fell apart again. For Ferrari, it was the nightmare they feared most. A frustrated Hamilton is one thing, but a disillusioned Hamilton? That's something far more dangerous. Fred Vasseur, trying to hold the fire together, went to the media immediately. He said, "That penalty was too harsh. It doesn't make sense. Max cut the chicane earlier, went across the grass for 100 meters, and nothing happened. That was badly managed, honestly." His tone was calm, but the message was clear. Ferrari wasn't taking this quietly. And that statement hit hard. Because when a team like Ferrari openly challenges the FIA, it's not just about one decision, it's about trust. And trust right now is exactly what's missing between the FIA, Ferrari, and Lewis Hamilton. Inside the team, it's chaos. Some engineers believe Hamilton's outburst shows the pressure he's under. Others think the communication breakdown is the real issue. Either way, the relationship between driver and pit wall looks more fragile than ever. Sources from Maranello say Hamilton demanded a full debrief focused only on the penalty and the radio confusion, skipping all the other race topics. It's that serious. The Italian press didn't hold back. La Gazzetta dello Sport called it a humiliation. Corriere dello Sport said Ferrari betrayed its driver. Even Sky Italia used the word disaster. The criticism wasn't just about the FIA anymore. It was about Ferrari's inability to protect their star when it mattered most. And if that wasn't enough, former drivers joined the storm. Martin Brundle said Verstappen should have received a drive-through penalty for cutting the same corner earlier. "The FIA has to stop this nonsense," he said live on Sky Sports. "It's one rule for some and another rule for others." That quote alone blew up online. Because let's be real, if Brundle says it, fans listen. Meanwhile, Verstappen defended himself, saying he had no choice but to go wide because of the bumps and the dirty air. But the onboard told another story. Full throttle, no attempt to lift, straight through the runoff like it was part of the track. And that's exactly why fans are furious. One rule for Max, another for everyone else. Social media went wild. Hashtags like Justice for Hamilton and FIA double standards started trending worldwide. Even fans who aren't usually pro-Hamilton admitted something didn't feel right. And that's when the story shifted from being a race result to a symbol. A moment where fans collectively said, enough. But let's take a step back. This isn't just about one penalty. It's about a deeper problem that's been eating away at Formula One for years: inconsistency. The same move can earn a penalty in one race and nothing in another. Drivers lose trust, teams lose patience, and fans lose interest. And now, one of the sport's biggest names is publicly saying what everyone's been thinking. For Ferrari, the situation is especially dangerous. They signed Hamilton for leadership, for stability, for experience, and right now, they're giving him reasons to question all of it. The last thing Ferrari can afford is another civil war like the ones that destroyed their past projects. But that's exactly where they're heading if they don't fix this dynamic fast. Hamilton's comments after the race were sharp but measured. He said, "I'm disappointed, but I'll keep pushing. I just want things to be fair, same for everyone." That's classic Lewis. Calm on the surface, but there's an edge underneath. It's the kind of tone that says, "I'm watching you." And the FIA knows it. Behind the scenes, Ferrari plans to file an official request for clarification, not to overturn the penalty. That's impossible now, but to force the FIA to explain why similar incidents went unpunished. It's a move that could open a much larger debate before the next race in Brazil. And if the FIA isn't careful, this could blow up into a full-scale credibility crisis. Because here's the thing, Formula One survives on fairness, or at least the illusion of it. When that illusion cracks, the whole system starts to shake. And right now, it's shaking. Next up is Interlagos, one of Hamilton's favorite tracks, one of the most emotional venues on the calendar. The same circuit where he won his first title in 2008, where he made miracles happen. Now he'll arrive angry, determined, maybe even dangerous. And Ferrari? They'll have to decide if they're going to protect him or keep hiding behind silence and confusion. The story isn't over, not even close. What happened in Mexico might be remembered as the turning point, the day Hamilton finally snapped, Ferrari finally spoke up, and the FIA realized that their decisions no longer happen in the dark. Everyone's watching. Every fan, every journalist, every rival. And if Interlagos brings more of the same, this championship might explode in ways none of us have seen before. Because Formula One has always been about speed and skill, but lately it's becoming about politics, perception, and who dares to speak out. And right now, Lewis Hamilton is the one doing exactly that.